Okay, yes. Welcome, welcome to the temple. And today is very, very, very potent. And I'm just looking at all you guys in the comments. And thank you so much for showing up and being here with me. And also for those of you that watch the replay, you're very much part of it. Energy travels, it's multidimensional, isn't it? So I am what time is it here? 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock my time. And it's like, Africa time. And it has been, I don't know about you guys, but I've spent 3 days trying to ground. And this energy that has been coming in has been so intense. But I do know that we've been hijacked a lot. Hey, hey, hey. I do know that we've been hijacked a lot by it's obviously new moon. There's also as well. The Schumann resonance and all sorts of crazy things going on. And there's a lot of chaos around us. Everything is changing at a rate of knots. And it's like I said in my previous videos, it's all about holding the line now and holding it down. So it matters not really. I don't want to get into like what's going on out there because that's their gig. Today is about the new moon in Pisces. And what is so funny is I was not aware until some time ago that, working with Hecate and Sekhmet, which is who we're working with today, and a few others, I didn't realize that today was the new moon. And obviously, the new moon is Hecate's moon. So everything was just in this divine alignment. And it's those moments when we sit there and we just go, we got nothing to worry about. Do you know what I mean? A lot of us are having those synchronicities right now where we're just like, how did that line up? Oh my God. And we need to squeeze the juice out of that and just know that everything is taken care of. But what today is all about is definitely working in the temple as a collective, definitely working with the new moon, but I want to talk about Sekhmet and I want to talk about Hecate or Hecate. I tend to oscillate between the two. So I know a lot of you out there have been working with Hecate for quite some time. You know what I mean? And it may be that Sekhmet is new to your gig. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But for me, Hecate's always been on the outskirts. She's been there chilling. And then about 2 weeks ago, she came in like a freight train. Now, what is incredible about this goddess is I have shared with so many of you, okay, that like, we've had chats and things like that. I even had a friend who said to me, oh, I got visited by this demon woman. She had three black dogs and it was just really intense. And I was like, oh no, that's not a demon woman. That's Hecate. She's like super, super in the depths, in the darkness. And that's kind of where we've all arrived at. So I'm going to be getting into like, what her symbols are, obviously, as well as Sekhmet as well. And what we're going to be working on primarily today is working with Sekhmet, clearing out all the, if you can just mute yourself, guys, when you come in. Thank you. So what it is like we're going to be working with the kind of clearing the distortion, the destroying everything all around, and that's what Sekhmet's going to be helping us with. We have done many sessions with Sekhmet. We all know her very, very well, and she can come in with her fires of transformation in many, many different ways: creation, clearing out the blocks, whatever it might be. But today she is coming in as a front runner to clear everything out the way. Then in comes Hecate, and she is actually going to assist us in stepping into this deep, dark unknown. So, with Dark Mothers, we all connect. Everybody here, we all connect with the same energy, which is those transformative goddesses. Yes, I have a connection with Isis, as we all do, and all the other goddesses like Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. But right now, we're rolling in the deep, aren't we? And that's where, quite honestly, a lot of us have had this stuffing kicked out of us over the years. And now we arrive at this place and we're kind of okay with it. We're OGs, man. Do you know what I mean? We're kind of getting used to this kind of like deep dark and we're not scared of it anymore. So what I'm going to start off with is we're going to do like a meditation and a grounding, kind of to signify opening the space and just coming into a more grounded space as well. Because I know some of you have just woken up, and me, I've been bouncing in these hectic energies because the anxiety is really high. And that's another thing I'm going to be talking about: the strain and the stress on our bodies, which we're going through as we go through this change, right? And it's all good. It's all good. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So now just get yourself comfortable and just closing your eyes and just taking some nice big power breaths. You know me, I like the power of three. Inhale and exhale. Just let out a big guttural breath. Inhale from the base of the belly. Hold that breath a little bit longer. And exhale, let it out. Breathing in again, inhale. And exhale. Just feel everything start to settle. And as you're breathing, just allow the stillness to come into your being. The best way to come into still, steady, like internal space, present space, is when you bring sound to your breath. So you may feel called to bring in the Ujjayi breath or the ocean breath, which is very fitting as it's Hecate. She's all connected to the sea. So inhaling and exhaling and hearing the sound of your divine breath. Allow it to just echo through the ears. As you hear that sound of the breath, and as you exhale, feel the body just. And as we breathe in a little deeper now, we start to breathe into the darkness, not in a fearful way, in a dark moon way. Inhale. And as we exhale, we kind of like deepen in and shuffle into the darkness like you're squishing in for a little bit of a comfier spot. So breathing in again, inhale. And this time just really, really letting go. And now putting your hands on your belly and just taking some deep breaths, because that's essentially just above your hips. It's a real anchor center for us. So breathing in. And as you breathe out, feel the belly fall and really anchor those roots deeply into the earth, like you're a beautiful, powerful, ancient oak tree. Inhale again. And deepen those roots into the earth once again. See if you can take them a little bit deeper. And then one more. Inhale. And now go the deepest, connecting all the way down, connecting with the heart of Gaia. Gaia just lovingly takes your roots and she holds them, she connects them into her being. And you feel that little pop of energy as you connect your energy with hers. And she's holding you down, not in a repressive way, in an anchored way. And now breathing her love and support all the way up the roots from her heart, all the way to yours. Hold it in the heart. And as you exhale, send a heart breath, 360 degrees out there, all the way out to the world. Beautiful heart breath. Breathe in again, drawing in a combination of Gaia's heart energy and your own. Inhale. Up to the heart, hold it there. Send a beautiful heart breath out. And then one more breath like that, really going into the depths, the deepest parts of your roots, your deepest connection with Gaia. Inhale. And then sending that energy all the way out. And then I'm asking you to come back into your heart and just rest there. And we're focusing today more connection into the roots for many reasons, for grounding, the anxiety, the pain and stiffness we're feeling in our bodies as we are being reborn. That is what happens, but also as well because we're working in the underworld. We're in the lower world. You know, we tend to oscillate, you know, between the three worlds, but we're really working in the root system today. And now I want you to take a breath into your heart once more. Inhale. Hold it slightly. Now this time I want you to send the breath up, all the way up into the cosmos, just like a acknowledgement of the stars above. And then inhale that love light, the starlight, all the way down through your crown, down through your central power channel into your heart. And send your breath all the way back up to the stars once more, like you're doing a yawn, like you're acknowledging the cosmos. And bringing the starlight down into your being. And one more very cool little nice stretch. Inhale up to the cosmos, holding your hands out, much like Heka actually. Drawing down the essence of the planets, of the stars, because there's a lot going on up there at the moment, and bringing it into your being. But now sending one more breath, taking all of that down. Inhale and exhale deeply into the earth. So we're sending the starlight and the love light all the way down to Gaia. Little gift for her. And it's like feeling the energy. I can feel the energy of the stars running through my lower body now, all the way through my feet. And we're anchoring, we're kind of connecting as above, so below, but kind of under the ground, if you know what I mean. That's what we're doing today. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. That was rather nice. Should we just hold hands and sing Kumbaya for an hour or so? I actually think that was more for me than you. It was just like, oh, honey, we're doing some grounding today, you know? So, welcome to this new moon Hecate or Sekhmet Hekate gathering. And, today, this is the day, if you choose it to be so, that we draw a line in the sand. That we have been working and working and working, have we not? Dark night of the soul, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I just want to chuck it in there that it kind of came to me today where we are really at that precipice of changing. So what it's now going to take is for us to actually have some physical attunements. We have to physically change things in our life. And that's what I'm going to go through the layers with, because I have much to share with you when it comes to moving your furniture around in your house, because that's effectively what we're doing. We're getting physical now, because magic only ignites when you are in those luminal spaces, which is all about Hecate. Magic only ignites when you decide and take action to kind of like step there. Do you know what I mean? It's that uncomfortable zone. So you are going to be pressed, and whether you go, yeah, okay, this is a cool meditation to turn up for, and you kind of hear, let me tell you, you're going to be, if you're here, you're going to be pushed to do those changes. So if you resist it, it's going to be resistance is futile, let me tell you. So it's like there's nothing to fear, only everything to receive now, right? So let's just talk a little bit, do a little bit of an energy update. So, the last few days have been crazy mental, right? Okay, so we've gone through the 222 portal, which was on Saturday. Then Mars went direct. I do not get knocked over by retrogrades and things like that. I don't notice them, to be honest. It's just another day in paradise, I suppose. But this one actually shifted and changed. I think some people felt it on the Sunday because wherever you are in the world, that's where it was happening. And then on the Monday, I just got flattened, and it was an absolute surge. Mars energy is well, it's war energy, but it's very much about doing. It's about have a strategy, have a plan. It's like pushed us forward, and I was a bit like. And I think that that's what the anxiety is about, because when you get pushed to go first, you start to go, oh my God. And anxiety is a fear, is an emotion of the future. So in a way, the collective is feeling that. We're all light workers. We're going to feel it. But I don't want to bring too much emphasis of that into the space, because then we start saying, oh no, we need to carry for other people. We don't. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome. So yeah, we don't need to do all of that. But the anxiety is real. And I think the anxiety is more to do with us, because this is the time that we have worked towards for lifetimes, especially this lifetime. It's like, be careful what you wish for. It's about to be granted to you. But now it's a bit like they've just shown me now, or vision came in, where you're sat in the crowd. You spent years in university, and now all of a sudden they're at the front and they're going, can Marie Cobley please come to the front? And I want to go, because I don't want everybody to look at me, and I'm going to sit there and do all that training, and I won't go up and get my prize. Yes, I want my flipping trophy. Give it here. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to go out for beers afterwards. Yeah, let's celebrate. But that's kind of where we're at. So all of that on the stage, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But to get my ass off the chair, to get up there, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I mean, it's a crazy thing, but that's kind of like, we're so used to being stuck in the struggle, right? So this is what today is all about, right? Stiffness in the body, incredible pain in shoulders, neck, all of the rest of it. It's it's all up here. So listen, like, get physical with it. Go and get a realignment in your spine. I did that. My whole family done that. And it really releases a lot of energy. And I think that there's massive structural changes as we move through this critical point of change. And this is what the new moon is bringing us. So you're going to be feeling it. It's okay. So that's all kind of like, acceptance, you know what I mean? And of what your physical process is. But we got to move now. We got to move now, guys. So we have to commit to change. And that is what we're talking about today. We're committing to change. And I've got a little bit of a plot twist of a session here today. We have a cauldron, okay? So we're actually burning. We're doing burny witchy things today, let me tell you. I'm going to get physical with this. Who did I do a session for? I think, yeah, Ra's here. I nearly burnt my office down, but you know what? It was worth it. And I'm prepared to do it again to actually clear. Hey, Ra, we were burning stuff up the other day. So we're doing it again, right? And the way this is going to work, after I've done this session, right? Because I'm going to be calling you this whole session. What are you going to change? What are you going to change? The magic doesn't come through transformation this time, the inner work. It's actually out there. And that's why Hecate is so present with us right now, because we're at that crossroads. So at the end of this session, I'm going to go onto my YouTube and I'm going to put a special post in the community section, and I want you, and it may take a day or two, like go at your own pace, but I want you to write in the comment section what it is, and I'm going to prompt you on it, that you are committing to change in your life, right? Could be giving up smoking, could be moving to the other side of the country, it could be giving up a job, but it's got to be significant. You can't turn around and say, well, I'm now going to drink full fat milk instead of skimmed. That's a cheat. We want something a bit more than that. And if you're going to do that, then obviously you're going to get pushed even more and that anxiety is going to peak. So I'm going to ask you to commit. So this is all about commitment for me, showing up, you guys showing up, even me as well, you know? So I want to share with you now, which is this a beautiful kind of like channeled writing. I wrote it through my own voice, if you like, but it was channeled. And when Hecate and Sekhmet came to me, it was about 2 weeks ago. My family had gone out for the day, another day of being energy sick, ho hum. I had to lie on my back and just be like, okay, I can't move. But I was sick, man. I could not move. And it wasn't the normal energy sick. Now I fell across Hecate on TikTok. Before I knew it, I was in this office channeling her with Sekhmet. Sekhmet and her showed up at the same time. And it was like, this is happening. This is happening now. This is what you're going to be doing. And you're going to go and do a session and it's going to be the two of us. I mean, what an unlikely pair. But are they though? Sekhmet and Hecate. You know what I mean? So the two of them came together. The more I channeled her, the more I felt, oh, okay, this makes sense. And then who comes off the back of that? Also Anubis, because she has 3 black dogs. I actually have a black dog called Anubis. So I was just like, word? Oh my God, what is going on here? So I personally feel that Hecate has been sitting in the backgrounds with all of us. Like, you know, we call our signature frequencies your most powerful energy to do with a god or a goddess. Remember, we are not them, but we hold the aspects. But you're going to find maybe that with Sekhmet. I'm finding that with Hecate as well, which is all brand new to me. So this is the crossroads that I'm talking about. Expect to be connected with brand new deities, which are going to now bring new interests into your life. Trust it, go with it. But you cannot stay sitting in your own shit for any longer. You just can't. You know what I mean? And I know we're all scared of change. We're creatures of habit. But the thing is like together, we hold hands, we move, right? So this is what I channeled through. So this is when Sekhmet and Hecate came together. When two become one. Sekhmet, powerful, mighty mother. She who grants me courage to destroy that which does not uphold me, serve me, or support me. I seek out the shadows. A shadow hunter am I, smelling fear, sensing fear, and knowing that this is indeed a transformative eruption of alchemy as I destroy the shadow and shatter the illusion. My way is clear, the path I can now walk, yet I stammer. I am very unsure of what is to come. Uncertainty overwhelms me. I relinquish all control. I breathe and let go as I fall into the arms of the divine mothers. Sekhmet, Hekate. Hekate, Hekate, Hekate. The goddess of crossroads, decision, choice, magic. She who reveals the truth and illuminates my way. The hidden will be seen. May you, Divine Mother, now light my way. Show me the path to my power and my purpose. That which lurks in the shadows will be known. In the name of Hecate, reveal thyself. Those who are untrue will be exposed. The non-truths that hold me in prison will be destroyed. Hecate, who grants me my gift of sight, divine sight. This is the sight that immerses me in the deepest depths of trust. No need to know. In an open and receiving heart, I trust Hecate, who knows the way. She knows the way. I follow thee, devoted and true. I am not lost. I am not weak. I am strong yet beauteous, fearsome yet gentle, empowered and true. Hecate, I hold your sacred torches, and they shine brightly, undeniably illuminating my sacred direction. Sekhmet, I have your fearless heart. May your flames of transformation burn away all that stands between me and my truth. Hecate, I hold your magic that allows me to walk between worlds. No longer do I fear the dark. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. So that was more like a prayer, like a cry for help in the beginning. And as you saw, like the channel kind of changed. So that is where I'm at and that's where they are. And that's kind of that whole thing there really kind of sums up as to why they are here and how they are working with it. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. I was going to say thank you, Sacred Lee. So yeah, so just going back to the comments here, Ada, yeah, the migraine the other day, that's yeah, 100%. This is what's going to be happening. And remember, we are changing perspective, perception. And I want to also bring this into the mix before we dive deeper, is, you know, the principle of mentalism, okay, which is the 7 Hermetic principles, which we've done a temple classroom on before, right? But the principle of mentalism is number 1, okay? So we cannot bypass number 1 and go on to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Because you have to master the first principle, which is mentalism, knowing that you are the all mind. We spend most of our times as spiritual types kind of just trying to get rid of that, going, oh yeah, we're not our ego, we're not our mind. But hang on a minute, we are. And that's a gift. That is a gift. And nothing is changed and nothing is activated until you embrace the whole mental side of things, right? Because where we're at right now, and this is just the Gospel of Marie, if it resonates, maybe run with it. But I kind of like went through these last few days of just really going through massive changes, like everything changing in my life. And I was like, wow, these dark nights of the soul we have cleared, and we've all worked so hard. We've gone. And the way I equate it, what can I hold here? So imagine this is your perception, and underneath here is all of your kind of like, you know, dark nights of the soul, all the layers. So we've been working and working. Dark night of the soul, another one, another year, another dark night of the soul. And we've been going. And there's something quite beautiful about this, is that our ancient one, our inner being just kept going. Why is that? Because it knew, we didn't know, but it knew that it was taking the layers off underneath to arrive at this top place. This top place is your perception, so it sits here. So we got to go to the depths and cut it all away, cut it all away, cut it all away, until it's only the perception that is left, which is the principle of mentalism. Those are your belief systems. It's the goggles you wear to see the world. So interesting. 2 seconds is why I was late, running around to find my different glasses, because I was like, I don't like these glasses. They don't feel nice when I wear them. So I need to change my glasses. So today, I know it's not rocket science. I was like, it doesn't matter what I do in my life. And this is Marie sharing with the group. I can do like 1 million tours to Egypt. If I did, I could probably write a trilogy of books and be like, okay, I could just do all of these amazing things. And you know what? The lack of fulfillment I have in my own life, it's ridiculous. I am very abundant. On the outside looking in, you'd be like, wow, what is she complaining about? But I don't enjoy any of it. It's like having weight loss and then still seeing yourself as the size that you began at. But meanwhile, you're skinny maninky. What's the point of even doing it? Because I didn't enjoy it. So I can sit here and anybody can say, yeah, but you've got this, you've got that. But if you're seeing it through the eyes of lack, it doesn't matter how many achievements I do to kind of fill that void. I'm always going to feel like it wasn't good enough. Oh, I got a 90% on my exam. Okay, where's the other 10%? That's kind of like how I think that we've been looking, rather than going, wow, you got 90%. Like, you know, now that is just how it is. Going back to this here, this was never going to change until now, because it was the last thing, like a game of Jenga, to come falling down. So what is your perception? How are you seeing the world? Yes, we can start and go, okay, it's all in lack and everything like that. But we're now, like Hecate and Sekhmet are going to go, right, you're going to take those off. How's this? And you're going to go, whoa, this is a bit different. But the thing is, you've got to pitch up to the party and go and collect your new glasses off the stage. That's the problem. So as a human, right? Funny story, I've started DJ school. I haven't stopped telling you a lot about it because I'm so excited. Like over 40, mixing it up, you know? And it's like, it's a bit of a train wreck, but I'm learning, okay? But anyway, I'm having the best time because it's got nothing to do with spiritual tours or anything like that. But you know how much I dreaded doing this course, because it meant me doing something different in my life, right? All day, every day, I'm behind this computer recording. And I was getting to the point where I was like, there needs to be more creativity. I need to be doing something a little bit extra other than just sitting in this office 12 hours a day. And then when I actually signed up for the DJ course, do you know I fought it tooth and nail to not do it? And I was like, this is a disaster. I don't want to do this, even though it's something I've always wanted to do. And it's been my life's dream to be able to DJ and make my own music, right? Bucket list shit, right? And then I get to it. It's like, no, I don't want it. I'd rather just come back to sitting in this office, which makes me not that happy anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because there's more. I'd want to do more with my life. But that's what I'm talking about. This is where it gets a bit of a mind bender, and you must not turn around and not do it. That thing that you're going to commit to, because you're going to put it on YouTube, you're going to say it loud that you're going to do something different in your life. It's going to make you go, oh, I don't want to do that. Why? Because we're creatures of habit. We're so familiar with our shit and our suffering and pain and all the rest of it because we know how it works, right? But do we want it? No, we don't. So there is going to be that stammer. You're not going to be like, oh, let go and let God and run into the sunset. You're going, it's a change in direction, and it's a big one. And that is why Hecate has felt this with all of us as a collective, and she's stepped in, and Sekhmet has stepped in with her fire, and she's like, ah, right, people, let's do this. We are doing it. So we're going to work with these goddesses, with these transformative dark mothers, because like we're not scared of the boogeyman anymore. Jesus, I think between us in this group here, we've seen more demons and disasters. Do you know what I mean? To like, make 10 million movies in Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what else is there? We ain't scared of anything. So now we need to go into the deep, dark depths of all of this. So let me just introduce energetically. Yeah, preach. Woo. Yes. Shall I get up and get a white cloth on my head and go, yeah? Maybe I should open a church, and maybe that's my next gig with DJs. Okay, so now Sekhmet, right? Just to bring her, let's say, her divine genius and ascended mastery into the group now. So we all love Sekhmet. She's a solar goddess. It's all about the fire and the death and the transformation and the alchemy. She's a destroyer with her fire. She basically destroys everything, right? She is also a creator with her fire, because it's like the fires of creation, right? Today, she's destroying, but ultimately, really, she's going to help you create as well, really. Lionheart, fierce. But we also know that she's very gentle. A lot of us are kind of going into our soft era now, divine feminine landing, right? So we're starting to hear her purr more than she roars right now. And that's a beautiful thing, because Sekhmet's purr is deeply, deeply restorative and healing. And when a cat purrs, like physical, like sits on your body, that cat will open dimensions with that sound that hurts, that it's like a bit of like a binaural beat, I suppose. You know what I mean? And it can open up dimensions. So Sekhmet's purr is loud. We've all heard it, and literally you vibrate, but it's like soothing. So we are finding a softer side to ourselves. So that's why we connect with the goddess in a softer way as well. There's more of her to enjoy, right? So now purpose as well. Purpose. Today is a lot about, right, who are you? Because you're not who you were yesterday or even an hour ago. So that's the big question. Who are you? That's why we're all stammering on the crossroads going, hang on a minute. I know what I don't want to do anymore, but shit, I don't know what I do want to do. And there's that whole identity crisis going on, but it's okay. Labels. We're going to get to that. So now we're going to be moving away the blocks and everything like that with Sekhmet. And she's going to help you beyond this session as well. So you call on her and get her to clear any distortion out of here in your physical world. Whatever needs to be done with is going to be done with, right? So she's going to be activating your courage, because without courage, she's encouraging us, there's that word courage again, to step forward. You know what I mean? And go and meet Hecate, because we got to get out the back of the room here, and we got to step in, right? So now that's the solar energy of Sekhmet. So now let's step in with Hecate. So Hecate, she's the moon. She's all about the moon. She's the goddess of magic. And what I would like to bring to your attention, which knocked my socks off, is Heka. Heka. Listen, I know there's lots of ways to spell her name, but for me, I wasn't even thinking about this, but I spelled her name that way. Hekate. Heka is magic and medicine. Hecate, there's the connection. So when we look at this, we just have a bit of a laugh, because our humanness is just likes everything in compartments. It's all the same. It's all the same, right? So she holds keys, powerful, powerful keys to open up portals and other doorways. So this is where Hecate is literally the key bearer. This is where we're at right now. We're like, we don't know what's behind that door. We're not supposed to, because divine feminine that's why it's the mysteries. We let go of the need to know. But hell, you're asking me to jump in there, leap without looking. It's a bit like our human aspects are like tweaking out a little bit. So we need to just calm our nervous systems, and kind of, that's why our bodies are physically going through what they're going through, because we're about to do the big jump, right? But she's here to hold our space, and she's going to bring the unseen to be the seen. What was it like when you're in bed, boogeyman, and you're like, oh my God, I'm scared in my room, and all these shadows are making some weird, crazy stuff, and you're like, that's totally a monster, definitely, and his mate's over there. And your mom comes in and switches the lights on, and you're just like, oh, it's just my jacket. Do you know what I mean? And it's like there's nothing to fear here. Do you know what I mean? So it's like how the power of the mind can actually send you into a place that is just fear-based so you can stay small. Hecate is going to bring you the torches. She has two torches. She's like, there you go, love. Go and like knock yourself out, light it all up. Do you know what I mean? And go and see what is actually out there because there is nothing to fear. It's just a bevy of wealth and prize, right? So now liminal spaces, right? A liminal space is a crossover. Now, the Celtic teachings speak a lot about this because Awen, which is basically a wisdom, knowledge, and creativity, or death, rebirth, transformation, whatever way you want to look at it. Awen is the three dots with the three rays that come down. When I teach about that with Avalon, it's the same as Heka. It's the same as just magic, right? So that's that luminal space is when the magic ignites. What does this look like if you just want to go out and do your meditations and things like that? Imagine a river and a bridge going over the river. That would be probably one of the most powerful places to cast a spell, to affirm something, to basically call in the moon. I go down and stand in the river, which is at the bottom of my house here, and I take my shoes off and I stand there and I all hail the moon and I feel incredibly grounded, and it's very, very powerful. Luminal spaces could be when the sun sets and the nighttime comes in. A luminal space could be 12 o'clock midnight before you switch over to early hours of the morning. So it's the crossover points, which is incredibly powerful. Okay, so that is where it's not just Hecate, that is where all magic is at its most highest. So let's bring it into our lives. How is this going to affect us? We're all at a crossroads. We're all in a luminal space because we're all on the same page here. I'm sure I'm correct by saying we're done with the old, and it's been a process with us being done with the old. We know the new Earth timeline is here. We just got to get used to breathing the new oxygen. No different to moving into a brand new house. You know what it's like. And 4 months down the line in your new home, you still got 10 boxes in the garage. It's a process. Do you know what I mean? It's like you got to take your time to move in. It's not that you haven't moved into the house. That's done. That's the new Earth timeline. Just haven't got the curtains up in the spare bedroom. So do you see what I'm saying? So we're getting used to coming into our new home, and that is going to be very, very much enjoyed when we get. I believe from May, March is going to be a big one for us, but May you're going to start to see the physical wish list start to show up, right? But at this time we're just kind of unpacking boxes, right? So that is the luminal space, right? The crossover, us moving into our new houses. So whatever we do, whatever we proclaim, okay, claim, affirm, invocate, whatever, conjure, it's going to be massive right now. So be careful what you wish for. In fact, make your wish big enough and go get it. Simple as that. Simple as that. So now things like there's a whole list here with Hecate because she's got so much that is connected with her, and plus a whole lot more. So she is also as well, when I channeled her, I said to her, like, people say that you call Hecate in, and she said, no, you don't, nobody calls me. She says, you arrive in my space. And I thought, whoa, that's something. And she was like, yeah, you've got to go to the depths that you have to go to the absolute depths, which is the depth, the darkness of the divine feminine. That's where our power lies, being too scared to go this far. And like I've been saying it on my videos, the big, deep, dark depths of the sea. Now, she's also connected to the sea. Now, those are the places where there's undiscovered species of fish, which all look a bit weird because nobody's gone down there, and they're very different things, undiscovered things. Isn't that quite symbolic? So we're in the depths of the sea right now. We've gone down there to meet her, which if we are feeling the energy of Hecate and she's showing up, so many of us didn't have a wisdom on her, and people are dreaming about domestic dogs. That's a sign that that's one of Hecate's symbols, you know, or connecting with them in real life or whatever. And, you know, that is her. That is the fact. That is a good testament to know that we have got that deep now, which is amazing and awesome, right? So death, surrender, the underworld. Guess what? She's also connected to lions. Not many people know that. Maybe you did. But I was just like, oh, there's the connection with Sekhmet then, you know, because it's all interrelated, isn't it? Dragons, bats. Okay. So remember, bats are all about rebirth and transition and everything like that. Owls, I mean, that's a given. Ravens and crows, all of these kind of like dog goddesses kind of have that connection. So that's Hecate. Now, I know that there's probably so much more, but we're going to be here for 4 hours otherwise. Now, just to chuck in the mix, whose presence is very much here, whether he comes into the meditations and channels, Anubis. So during this time, when I went through this massive, deep, dark dive with Sekhmet and Hecate, I had a very powerful dream about Anubis, and I woke up in the morning like out of breath. And he's always around me because, like, he just is. He's one of my biggest protector gods. And I was actually questioning as to why I don't really see him. Like, he doesn't talk much. And he came in, woof, and I had this dream. And I woke up the next day and I was like, whoa, he's here. And I felt a bit nauseous because his presence was so powerful. Now, why he connects to Hecate, I believe, well, she's already got black dogs on them in the mix. Okay. He's a black dog, right? And human body. But he also guards the entrance to the underworld. So does Hecate. And I mean, in a way, like I suppose Sekhmet does because she deals with the fear side of things, right? The shadow side. Now, when you're with Anubis, the kind of questions you'll ask is, should I proceed on this path? That's exactly the conversation you'd have with Hecate. He is the keeper of secrets because he's an Atlantean. He was an Atlantean being, and he was a priest, and he was the keeper of secrets and hidden knowledge, which is why he looks after the halls of Amenti. So in a way, that's sidestepping from Hecate as well. So if you wanted to work with divine masculine and divine feminine, I would say personally, how it feels for me, Anubis and Hecate would be a beautiful combination to work those two together. So when you work with Anubis, he's going to help you release the past so you can actually just be in forgiveness mode. So you can go onto that path of illumination and just go on to your next vibe. Because if you've got too much, harboring too much resentment about too many things, Isis especially is going to call you back because Isis is all about that. Isis says you have to forgive everything and everyone to be able to move into your new timeline. And I mean, it's very true, really. We got to just let that shit go, you know? So that is the kind of like the gods, the goddesses. That's the presence of who's with us today. I mean, we're always joined by all of them basically, but I mean, you know, as far as the figureheads go, this is what's going down. So how does that feel to everybody? Is everybody kind of like, anybody have any questions, or are we kind of like, we on the same page? Are we all good? Yeah. You just give me a thumbs up or just a hello. Do you know what? One day I'm going to come on here and I'm going to shout names out and I'm going to say, thank you, Rebecca. I'm going to say, right, okay, Michelle, you're on. And you're going to absolutely, oh. Anyway, moving on now. So as long as we're all in the same portal, as it were, right? So now let's get like more practical with this then, right? I'm going to ask you some questions. This is where the journaling comes in, okay? In fact, no, we're going to get into that in a minute. We're going to go in and meet Hecate and Sekhmet. That's what we're going to do. Now we know what their ascended mastery is. We're now going to go into that space just to vibe with them and bring them in more powerfully. So I invite you once again to close your eyes and take a nice big deep breath in, fill the lungs, and exhale. And give me another couple of breaths like that. It doesn't have to be as powerful as we did before, but just to bring you out of your mental body and bring you back into your energy, into your heart, into your energy field. And then you may want to place your hands on your heart or just visualize yourself doing this and start to breathe into the heart space. Inhale and exhale. And then feel your heart portal start to open up. And it's a beautiful rose. Rose is very, very divine feminine, but the rose is very symbolic of the layers and the spirals, which is exactly what we're talking about. Our experiences, our wins, our initiations, our losses. It's the journey. And I want you to breathe into that beautiful rose that you have in your heart. Inhale and exhale. And just feel it unfurl. Because that's what makes you. It's a beautiful rose and it's vibrant AF. It really is. And that is who you are. The warriors, the warrioresses, that's who you came here to be, but now fully embodying the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So breathing into the heart and allowing that heart, that rose to really open up and shine its light. And now as you deep dive, imagining yourself being a tiny person diving into your own heart, like a big deep dive into your heart portal. Feel yourself go into the depths, into your own inner universe. So you've entered inside beautiful you. And beautiful you is massive. It's infinite. It's a void space. It's a cosmos. It's massive. And in there, you just feel yourself stretching and just taking up space. And you're like, yeah, this is my universe. And in this place is where everything is, your inner being, your ancient one, your timelines, your dimensions. And now just feel yourself just resting into that space and allowing the physical body just to have a little bit of time off. And now as you feel yourself getting ready to journey, you feel yourself being kind of pulled magnetically into another direction, which is what journeying feels like. You get pulled off and then you're like, right, here we go. And you're feeling that in this very moment. And suddenly you're shooting down a tunnel and there's a million lights flashing past you. Quite beautiful, actually, but you just let go and just let the process happen as you're being transported to another dimension. And as you are transported, you land with a little bit of a thud. And that thud beneath your feet is like a mossy, soily kind of feeling underneath your feet. And as you look down at your toes, you give them a little bit of a wiggle and you kind of connect with the damp moss beneath your feet. And you take a breath in through your nose and it smells like pine trees, damp earth, forest. And immediately you start to look up and take in your surroundings. And around you, you're in this magical forest. It is very, very dark though, and you are wearing this very, very heavy cloak. You got shrouded because you have your own hood over. So you're very covered. I would say borderline hiding, but it's like you're shrouded. So you look down at your toes and you take tentative steps. And each footstep you take, you feel a magnetic pull, which is very much guiding you in a certain direction. You also feel this in your solar plexus, a little bit of fire igniting. This is very much Sekhmet solar plexus. And you just feel yourself being guided. It's a very, very dark night as well. You look up in the sky and you can see, oh, there tonight is actually the dark moon. There is only stars. And the whole night feels shrouded, just like you. But you worry not. There is some anticipation in the air, a little bit nervous, walking through this very, very dark forest. But you just stick to the path and you trust as much as you can. And as you walk through the forest, you come to an opening. There is an unlikely sight in front of you because there is something there that is unexpected. And as you look a little closer in the darkness, it's actually a temple. You say to yourself, well, this is a bit strange, a temple in a forest. But the curiosity in you, your childlike wonder, you're like, everything's an adventure. So you hasten your pace just a little. And as you walk through the woods, there is like an opening. And as you come out of this opening, there you're standing, looking at this beautiful temple. And it is actually an Egyptian temple. And it is as if it has just been taken from Egypt and just placed here. As you look around the outside, there's actually sand on the floor. And you walk around this whole massive structure. And there is these beautiful, like pans, which are kind of low to the ground. And they're all fired up with fire. It's quite beautiful, actually, because it flickers off the wall. And the hieroglyphs all light up. So as you walk around the outside of this temple, you know, you're quite a seasoned traveler. There's many places you've been and you can read hieroglyphs very easily. So you're just in your element. So you follow the light and all of these fire pits all around, and they're flickering up and lighting up the story that's on this temple. And as you see the story, you start to realize this is my life. So the actual story in the hieroglyphs shows war, struggle, strife, grief. And as you walk round to the back of the temple, you see hieroglyphs that start to show feathers of Ma'at, which tells you that there is some kind of truth that was understood from the other wall, which was all about war and resistance. So as you look at this wall, you put your hands up to these codes, which are actually on the hieroglyphs. You do not know what they mean, but you can feel the energy pump through your being, and it's almost like a heart opening, like a receiving the story actually through your fingertips. So you're like, this is very interesting. So you walk around the other side and you're led through this journey. And as you go around the other side, there are offerings and Osiris. And you're like, oh my goodness, this is a story of going through death, moving through the rebirth, and round the side, like this is Osiris, this is resurrection. You're so enthralled with the energy and the story of the hieroglyphs, you just rub your fingers all the way down. There are sparks, golden sparks. This is not a fearful place at all. You find yourself coming back to the center of the front of the temple, and then suddenly the doors open and it gives you quite a startle. You get a bit of a jump, and you just hear like a telepathic voice saying, enter. So you take a breath. This is a summoning. I have been summoned. This is not an invitation. This has some kind of authority, this voice. So you walk into the temple and you see there that there's just flowers strewn on the floor. There are beautiful big jugs of beer. And then when you start to look at the jugs of beer, you know, it clicks. Oh, this is Sekhmet's temple because she loves beer. So you just take a big deep breath in because you're like, okay, let me take my hood down, present myself. And as you walk in, you walk up these steps now, long steps, until you arrive. And there she sits. There she be, on this beautiful throne. And she stands up and she comes to greet you, different to all the other ways where it's usually fire and brimstone, and she's a little bit scary, and she feels very much approachable. And she comes down the steps and she grabs you and she hugs you. And she says, dear child of mine, love and sublime, my heart is full, so full that you are here. And you just collapse in her arms because you just didn't expect this overwhelming emotion that you're like, yeah, I came home. I came home, and you didn't quite realize the power of this portal, that this temple is a portal. And she holds you and she can feel your body getting so hot because she's just letting go and letting go. And there's almost like a sense and a feeling that she is transmitting to you that you've arrived. Like this is a completion. And she throws away your cloak and she brings you this beautiful red one and she puts it on over your head, and just looks at you and she's like, that's much more fitting because Sekhmet loves red, right? And you stand there and you feel excited and you want to tell her about all your journeys and how you got here. And she just says, shh, now is not the time. We know. I have walked with you in your dreams, in lifetimes. I've never left your side. And this is a moment of proudness that you feel literally from a parent to a child. But she quickly gets to the point. She says, you're here to do very big work yet. It is not over yet. So when we require you, yes, there is another that waits outside for you. Okay, so what are we doing? She said, today is the day that the new moon lands in Pisces. Pisces is the water, the divine feminine, the divine flow of healing, deep, deep, rejuvenating, healing, cleansing waters. And you, my dear, have traveled lifetimes, and this is not just a normal point that you arrive at. This is the point. And you look at her, oh, you start to nod. We're here, okay. And she says, it is now time for you to step through. So I will help you, guide you, clear all of that fear and activate it into courage. But there is another one that waits outside of you. And she keeps pointing out the door. You must go now. I will see you in a very short time. So you leave Sekhmet and then you walk out of the temple. And it is dark. All of a sudden, you're outside the temple. You turn around to say, Sekhmet, but it's so dark. She's gone. Temple's gone. And you're in the depths and the darkness of this very scary forest in your little red cloak, feeling a little bit like Red Riding Hood, and we all know what happened to her. So fear is a little bit rife right now. You can't see. It's dark. So you slowly walk back along the path, just going the way you came. And then suddenly there is a stillness that comes over the forest. You hear howling. And then you hear something that flaps past your ear, a bat or two. You hear the owls in the distance, but this is a lot of activity. This is unusual. And you start to feel a little fearful because you can't see. And then suddenly she steps in front of you, like just out of nowhere. It is Hecate. Hecate, Hecate. She stands there with her torches. illuminating. And you see the fire glistening in her own eyes. And she says, I'm illuminating the way for you, dear soul. And her keys, they rattle on her dress. And she sees you looking at them and she just nods. Absolutely. So she gives you a torch. She gives you the other torch. And she says, now is the time to face that was hidden. Do not fear that was unknown, for it is the unknown that will set you free. Talking in tongues, but you get what she's saying. And then suddenly you just feel a presence down at your feet. She has 3 powerful wolf dogs with her. And they are looking around, but they're protecting you. And all of a sudden you feel like this is not the aggressor, this is my protector. And Hecate says, it is time, dear one, to ignite your magic, to remember who you be. For you are a powerful alchemist. You are a powerful soul. And now you're going to know this. For where you step beyond tonight, this luminal space, this new moon, with Sister Sekhmet and I, you will have committed by initiation to the next level. Are you ready for this, dear one? And you're just like, I'm so ready. I'm not going back to where I've been. I'm so ready. Suddenly, she just disappears. And here you are, stood with 2 torches. Enough to illuminate your way as you walk out of this place now. Feeling this deep connection, you've now met probably the most powerful mothers to date. Still holding your torches, feeling the energy of them both around you. You leave the forest, and you know, in a very short time, you're going to be called to step over the crossroads. Take a nice big deep breath in. And exhale. And while you're sitting in this very still space, I want you to ponder a few questions. I want you to ask, in the ethers and in the energy in the darkness, who am I? What is my purpose really? What truly makes me happy? Have I been chasing something for so long that it's just become habit? What is underneath that? What can I change in my life? What do I want to do in my life? Because I don't want to stay where I am. So allow infinite possibility to come into your sight now, your divine sight, infinite possibility. Not labels, not a sidestep from who you are now to over there. What are you leaving behind? What brings you freedom? Freedom is the key. Freedom is the key of Hecate. I want you to just gently come back into this space, because we're going to stay with this energy now. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Right. So, Sekhmet and Hecate are indeed here. So I want you to get a bit interactive with me here, because it's not to shine a light on you and make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. I want you, and you know what? You can just type in the comments, because what we're going to do is we're going to do some cauldron work now, because we're going to start to dismantle that which does not serve. And what was so interesting is when we met Sekhmet, there was a kind of equal energy that came through. You know, we weren't so, oh, heck, oh, hell, Hecate, sorry, Sekhmet, we're not worthy. We are worthy. We are worthy. It means that we don't, it's not that we don't respect her, you know, we respect her any less. We're just in a different place. We're empowered. And that was a very interesting interaction with Sekhmet, that it was rejoicing. And it's like, oh, you've made it. Still our mother, still a child, still respectful. But I felt that we were more empowered standing in our space. So Okay, so now, so I want you, so what I'm going to do here, okay, is I'm going to write on a pad, okay, because I'm going to write down on just one word. It doesn't have to be an essay. It's going to give us the energy for us to put into the cauldron because I can feel Ceridwen's here as well. I mean, like, at the end of the day, they're always all here, aren't they? So let us kind of be very practical about this in a very sort of like celebratory way, okay? So the old timeline, I'm going to give you some ideas now, just of like, where I'm coming from. The old timeline, came from, for me, struggle and lack, everything. When I say struggle, everything I've had to do on my own with no help. And when even just down to getting help to do with this or social media or the right person, I'm constantly having to watch my back because, you know what I mean? Like people aren't integral, and that's also kind of like, that translates to the support that I was giving myself. I wasn't always being supportive of myself. So my lack of support out there with people, places, and situations was about the lack of support that I felt like walking that timeline. That's I was not being Team Marie. It boiled down to me not actually seeing to my needs. So remember, everything out there, so I don't want it to be a hate list. Everything out there is a pure reflection of what you've got going on in there. So I want us to go into the energy of that, of understanding life as a mirror. All relationships and people are, right? So like struggle and being on your own. Okay. Let's just put that down as being lonely. That's a nice one. I'm surrounded by people all the time, and that sense of loneliness, starseed loneliness. What else can we put in there? So I mean, sacred. Lee's actually put there the energy, that why the energy is like it's just, well, that's the struggle paradigm, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it's what are we going to put in that we are, which would honor letting go of the old timeline. And it can be as simple as abundance blocks or things like that. So, just pop some words in the chat, and I'm going to write them down as we go. People, oh, that's a good one. People pleasing. Yes. And that goes on to say that we are not giving what we need. So that's a good one. Thank you, Ada. So people pleasing, that's a very, very big one. Anything else? Neglect. Now that's a big umbrella as well. Yeah, neglect of ourselves, you know, wearing a mask. Yeah, not being what's that? That's to do with authenticity, not, basically fear of being taken out, basically. Okay, procrastination. Yes, procrastination is huge. Basically, all of us are channels here. We're all ADHD. I don't care what you say. We are all ADHD. That's procrastination is the mind, too many tabs open, and we just sit there spinning our wheels, not moving forward because we don't think there's a bridge there. Learning through pain. Yep. Learning through pain, abuse, and that's in all levels, abuse to ourselves but also the people that we have in our life, unsure. Okay, so basically, yeah, doubt. That's doubt. Yeah, not worthy. Love this, guys. Not unworthy. Okay, negative self-talk, absolutely, that mind chatter that just won't stop. Okay, not aligning with truth no matter how hard we try, there's that block. Okay. And you know what this all boils down to? That we don't think it's okay to be us. Limiting beliefs. That's also as well, just like, limiting beliefs that do not uphold the new timeline, that don't uphold the old timeline. Okay. Because I wanted your energy on this list. Exactly. Worthless. I'm going to put in abundant blocked because that's a big one. Abundance block, that's a big one for all of us, which basically slash lack of freedom. Because I think when it comes to abundance, yeah, not being able to achieve, can't achieve. Because when it comes to abundance blocks as well, basically we want abundance so we can be free to do whatever we want to do. We don't want to do it to get Lamborghinis and like, do you know what I mean? Like, hair extensions and stuff like that. But it's just like it's about having freedom, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Being supported. So just writing these down as we go. God, now they're all coming. Self-doubting. Yep, we got that stuck. Yeah, stagnancy. We'll put that down as stagnancy. Okay. Um, yeah, achievement blocks. So basically, the achievement blocks also as well comes down to not being supported, right? So, okay, self-doubting, we've got that. So I think even if these still keep coming, it's fine because this is in the container. The container, okay, the most sacred object, more so than the Holy Grail. The most sacred object is the cauldron, right? And that's what we're working with, okay? So we are now going to fear of the unknown. Exactly. That's kind of like the crossroad. That's a beautiful one to kind of like curve this off because fear of the unknown, that's where Hecate is going to come in and help us here. So that's a very, very good one to put in as well. Fear of the unknown, because it just has a stammering. Now, it matters not really, because the thing is, the energy now is shifted because enough of us have shifted internally now, enough of us have jumped on the new earth timeline. That means that basically the scales have tipped, right? And now our environment out there, because our environment in there is better, we are being supported now. This is why, we need to just kind of like now understand that this is going to be the shift. It is going to be the last push to birth, right? And I like that. Afraid to ask for help as well. That's like, yeah, we just, which goes back to the struggle paradigm, doing everything on our own. So all of these guys, I'm going to read out now what we have: struggle, being lonely, people pleasing, neglect of self by others as well. We're neglected, fear of being taken out, procrastination, learning through pain, abuse, unsureties, which is self-doubt, no, not worthy, negative self-talk, limiting beliefs that don't uphold the old timeline, worthlessness, abundance blocks, which is lack of freedom, stagnancy, achievement blocks, which again is unsupported. So if you guys are watching after this live and you're watching this at another time, I suggest that you write this on your list, press pause, and then go and burn. But we're going to do it live here now. So as I bring this cauldron in to the center here, all right, in fact, I'm going to put a little, you can't see it, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, it's going in there and it's going on a beautiful bed of roses, which I've been drying in the last few days. And this now, we are now going to burn. So I want you to all close your eyes, because we're going to say a little bit of a prayer and we're going to call in now. So closing your eyes and just calling in Mother Sekhmet and Hecate in her transformative fires, Sekhmet's transformative fires. We are now going to burn this. This constitutes the old timeline. This is everything that we've come away from. So I'm calling for us to all bless this now, because it's made us who we are. It created the bridge for us to walk upon. So there were no wrong turns. We did the work. We did the work for ourselves. We did it for spirit. We did it for our ancestors. And we did it for those that are going to come beyond us, for our children as well. And that, my dears, is a time to be celebrated as the planets move into a perfect alignment, as the planetary parade comes in like to alignment now at the end of February. So now this here is all of the struggle and pain, a celebration, but a deep, deep forgiveness as well of what has come to pass. So in the light of Sekhmet, in the fire of Sekhmet, I call on thee, dear mother, divine one, lady of the flame, to come and transmute all that is shame, all that is doubt, and clear it all completely out. So we call on Sekhmet now to really fire up those energies in our beings and the fire within your own beings too. We come together as a collective now, and as we lovingly bless this here, and we put it into the cauldron on this new moon, we burn away as a group, a collective, the power of each one of our lion's hearts right now, our Sekhmet hearts. We burn, we clear, we transform, we allow it to die. We allow ourselves to die, for we are not who we were. We are completely transformed. And as the fires terminate the old timeline, we are reborn anew. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you, Sekhmet. You may open your eyes now. That came and went so effortlessly. Divine. Let's put the lid on that to close. Close. Lid on. Done. Closed. Okay. So now we are going to go into, okay, Oh, I felt that. I can actually feel this in my heart. And it's because we're working as a group and a collective. We must not doubt how powerful we are together, right? And I can feel Sekhmet and Hecate so strong because they are so with us right now. So now this is more kind of like Hecate speaking, right? We are now going to ask questions, right? And maybe this is something you're going to reflect on. So I asked you a little bit earlier, what is your purpose? What have you come here to do? And I'm going to share with you the crazy journey that I've been on. I am like, I love teaching. I love imparting my knowledge. I love doing this, but it's come at a cost. And it's cost me my freedom because I decided to bear the cross and I decided to carry everything and everyone. And I decided to not stand in my power fully to be able to be who I truly wanted to be. There's that freedom thing again. So I've laid to rest everything that I was doing. Hence why DJ school came in completely left field. But what I have done in my life, because I wanted to know, I said the other day, I was like, well, what's my purpose then? Because I also had a struggle block with all the achievements that I wanted to do. Well, how come you've just wiped my whole year clean and gone, well, you're not doing that? And I'm like, well, now I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And that had me questioning who I was. So I started to question and I was like, well, am I a teacher? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to write a book? Am I supposed to do more Egypt tours or not do Egypt tours? Whatever, right? And what came up was like, well, that's labels. Those are labels. And I was like, oh, okay. So what's my purpose? And they were like, well, tap into that. And I have been plunged into the depths of my I am presence, which is divine feminine. Okay. So when we talk purpose, we're talking about purpose. That's all sweets and gravy, what you're doing in your life. When you start to hone in and say, well, I'm a spiritual teacher, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, do you know what I mean? It's like it's pigeonhole. There's a bigger something to this. And that is where your freedom lies. And what I will tell you is I love teaching, as I say, all this stuff. I am having the time of my life being at DJ school. I dance in the mornings because I'm trying to make playlists. I burst into tears this morning because I was listening to an absolute gun garage track. It was so good. And I was just grooving. And I was like, I don't think I felt this happy in a week. And it was just music that was bringing it. And I was like, but this is so simple. Playing music, listening to music, mixing music. And they were like, well, it's making you happy. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And then as soon as I took my foot off the gas, everything else started to work for me because I was doing something extremely joyful. So it's like, find your joy. You're going to go through the layers with this, but this is where Hecate and Sekhmet are going to help you beyond this session for you to just not go into it and go, I need to find out who I am. Let it come to you. It's the divine feminine. Remember what Sekhmet said, is nothing to heal, only to reveal. So what is your purpose? What have you come here to do? Right? Or how do you want to show up in the world? Right? There may be more than one way. Okay. But what I can say is emphasis on not doing it how you did before, right? Who am I? What am I willing? This is a big one. What am I willing to change in my life? Because remember, this is an offering. Your change in your life, okay, that you are basically saying, right, okay, I'm actually putting that to bed now. Right? Like for me, I still do my videos and everything like that, but I don't give my whole day 5-7 days a week to it anymore. I'm just going to give that. I've made space for something else. I put a DJ course in there. What could you do that is similar to that really constitutes a change? It could be that you need to start writing a book, which is going to take you away from humanity. Switch your phone off and just get into it, man. Do you know what I mean? There's all these different ways, which basically just makes you happy. Don't worry about but it doesn't make sense because of da la la. That's not what this is about. Find your happy, right? Now, as I'm speaking about this, go and abandon that, go and do that. What arises inside of you? What resistance comes? What's the conversation? Oh no, I can't change that, but it's like I say to my sister when I was like, you know what, you need to go to the gym. I'm too busy for that because she was very sick at the time, like high blood pressure and everything like that. I don't know. I'm way too busy for it. I'm way too busy because it wasn't about her being busy. She wasn't willing to make the change. Right? So the change is going to make you feel uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable is going to be where the magic ignites. It is not going to be doing the same thing and expecting different results. This is a game changer. This is the culmination, the point of this session today is I'm gonna push you a little bit to give me something that you're gonna go, right, I'm gonna do this. And you're gonna go and put it in the post, in public. You let me know about it to be witnessed. And when I take my groups to Egypt, when we go to Temple Isis, Temple Philae, That private visit, I go in there and my group, we stand at the altar and I have each and every one of you say, because we're now at the end of the tour, we've done all the temples. You speak out loud exactly your promise to Isis. And guess what? It's powerful as anything because you've been witnessed. And guess what? If you resist it, it's not good. So this is why I'm saying it's a big damn deal. You know what I mean? But you have to commit because without commitment, there is zero change, right? And that's what Hecate is here to say to us today. Change, change, change. Decide. She's been screaming at me, decide. And I'm like, oh my God. Decision brings, or choice slash decision brings change, right? Change is transition. So something's got to die. You can't keep it all alive and expect to go to the other side. Something's got to die. You have to sacrifice to be able to transform. I'm going to say that again. You have to sacrifice to be able to transform. That's the ebbs and flows. So it's like sounds a bit intense and that kind of thing, but it's the only way it's going to work, right? So now, this is now Sekhmet speaking. Can you let go? Can you let go? This is where the fear may be coming in. Can you let go? That's an awareness that you're going to have right now because we're going to go into another meditation in a minute. Can you let go? Right? And then do you hold on to things that you don't want? Like my story, but I've been here like 8, 9, 10 hours a day. This is how I've always done it. Are you really happy? No, not really. Feel like I'm stuck in a in a void, and not a good one. I want to change, but I don't want to. No, it makes me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So the very thing that I wanted to do was scary. So that's what I'm saying. Can you let go? Can you go through that uncomfortability? Can you go into that thing that you do want to do and commit to it? Right? And you know what? It's not the thing that you're committing to, which is going to be the game changer. It's actually the fact that you committed. You know what I mean? Because you can change your mind. You've got power of destiny in your hands. As you do whatever you want. But it's actually about, can you get your back off the wall and leave where you are now to go and do that thing? That thing will probably change like intentions do. But you have to commit. And that is your offering on the altar. And then spirit comes through and says, there you go. You know what I mean? So what or who do you want to let go of? And perhaps that is the old you. The one that says, no, you can't do that. We haven't done that. We don't do that. No, 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 no. Let's just stay here. No, it's chill. Let's just stay here. Is it the old you that you got to let go of? Is that the who? So think about that as well, right? Not too much though, because we're letting it go, right? So we are now going to go into a meditation. All of these things are going to come up, and it's going to be. There is also a journey meditation that I released on YouTube, which is a proper journey. And I'm going to be uploading more of those because it gives you the power and the time to listen to the goddesses yourself. The Shadow Hunter is exactly what this new meditation is that I put up, which is with Sekhmet. So it will really help you. If you can't find the answers now, or you're just skimming off the top, it will really help you to go and do that meditation because I enter you into the meditation and then you have this long spell of time to just be in it. And the music's very eerie, it's very shadowy, and you go in there and you'll have lots of activation. So it's a proper journey where I speak for a short time, lots of time with Sekhmet. You and Sekhmet, not me, you and Sekhmet. So that's going to help you a lot with this process because we must honor this. It's a big thing, So then I will be uploading one for Hecate as well down the line. So what I'm trying to say is this is going to be something maybe you're going to work on, be your passion project for the next couple of months, which is going to be you. So this is why this class is so powerful because it's the very push that you're gonna I'm so glad you did the meditation yesterday. Do it again and again and again. No problem, Ada, we'll see you later. But just do it again and again and again, that meditation, and it will just keep giving you fruits and fruits and fruits. So now with those questions and everything like that, what is your purpose and all that kind of thing, maybe some of it comes in this next meditation journey. Feel free to just come off and then take some notes. That's what my work is always about. And let's go into a meditation. So we left them in the woods, or they left us in the woods. We're now going to go back there and we're going to go into a deeper dive. All right. So we're not going to take too long to get back into that dimension. All right. So now just closing your eyes, taking some nice deep breaths just to bring you back from the head again into that space. Okay. So breathing in, and you might want to give a big sigh out, but breathe whichever way you like, just to bring you back into your space. And I can feel the mothers step right in around us. Sekhmet and Hekate. I am feeling Hekate very much over my right shoulder. You may feel her differently. These are great conversations for us to have while we're in this channeling energy. Where do you feel Hekate? Where do you feel Sekhmet? Maybe there is another presence like Anubis or another beings that come in. Allow yourself to step beyond what I share with you. For mine is just a channel and a storytelling, and I would love it if you go beyond. Feel free to do that. And Hecate is very, very strong on my right, and as I say, Sekhmet's on my left. So they never left. And now breathing into your heart. We never left their space, so we do not have to go through that process. We just breathe into our hearts, and there they be. And in your mind's eye now, you find yourself walking back into that forest, still with this beautiful red cape on. But now you know that that temple that you went to see Sekhmet in, you know that it was an ethereal portal. You kind of had this is an enchanted forest. This forest I have created because I'm a master conscious creator. I create these dimensions. I can go wherever I wish. And now I understand that I was the one that created that portal. So without any shadow of doubt, excuse the pun, you start to walk back into that forest. You feel the trees lean into you, not in a nefarious way, just they acknowledge you now. They're like, oh, hello. You have so many deep connections with tree magic. They honor you. Your sovereignty mirrors their sovereignty. And you walk with your beautiful cloak just still covering you, but moving in the wind, and you know exactly where you're going. You walk towards the place where the temple once was. And as you feel yourself walking, you are looking at your feet, paying grand attention to the energy and the physical kind of like tingles you have in your body, because that's electricity. And you're creating this portal now. So you keep your eyes down as you walk, and your breathing starts to become deeper and deeper and deeper now, until such time you are now stood at that clearing. The trees step aside, and once again there is this majestic temple, and it appears to be a lot bigger and grander than it was before, and that's okay. And as you look around, your awareness is clearer now that it's very much hazy frequency all around, because it's a powerful portal. And as you walk in, no invitation is needed, for Sekhmet knows you're coming. She's intuitive. You are connected. She is you. You are she. You just walk in. She's in a different demeanor now, though, and she's dressed in her ceremonial initiatory clothes. She stands with this beautiful staff and a ruby crystal that is just emanating energy, and her eyes are twinkling with fire. There are just fire all around inside of this temple, and there is like drums and chanting in the background, and there's a strong presence that there are tribal members here in this temple. You can feel the fire in your belly, the fire in your heart. You've come here to do work. And you stand at the doorway, and Sekhmet says, state your purpose. And you're like, okay. And you call out, I am, I am, I am. I am a devotee of you, Sekhmet, and I am here in service to myself, to finally release myself from the old timeline, to step into the full completion of my sovereignty, my divine feminine masculine balance. And I come in as a warrior of Sekhmet. And I embody this fully in all timelines, all directions. I call on thee, Mother Sekhmet, to clear any distortions, any blockages, any false truths, all of the above that prevents me, maybe keeping me in fear from stepping courageously forward into the new earth timeline and shining my light with freedom, with fire. And with that, you find your own lion's roar coming out now. And you look up at the stars, because it's like an open courtyard temple, and you roar. And like the temple is like the portal. You can see the ripples of energy. Wow. And you kind of look and go, I didn't realize I was that powerful. There's like a bit of a two of you talking right now. And you're like, wow, I am. I am. And you walk up to Sekhmet. And she stands before you. You expect the same usual initiation clearing. You're looking for the fire that you're going to step into. This is not what this is. She steps and she moves her hand. She creates a circle of fire. And you are to step into this sacred circle of fire. There are no big bonfires here. And as you step into the circle, it is just you and she, eye to eye. She places her paw on your heart. She places her other paw on your back. So she's almost cupping your heart. But she leans in and she looks deeply into your eyes. And she says, "Dear heart, do you trust me?" And of course, she's very close. And you're like, yes, you can feel her whiskers on your face. You've never been this close to her before, but you do trust her. She has got you this far in your life. You trust her implicitly. And then she pushes and presses her third eye on your forehead. And then she says, on the big inhale, you're going to breathe in and you're going to bring all of your darkness to the surface. And on the exhale, you're going to give me your breath. And she pushes your body, your being, she squeezes you. And you exhale like, you don't realize where this is coming from. And all of this black smoke comes out of your mouth. She now, so close to you, sucks that darkness in. And she's licking her lips because this is how she feeds on the shadow. This is very, very powerful ancient initiation, which is how many temple times this has been done. Allow yourself to open your energy being and just let it go. She's sucking that darkness out of you. She's consuming it. And as you allow your breath to go in once more, exhale all the way. And let her suck it out. You become very well aware of the flames in her belly and the circle of fire around you ignite. You're like, this is how it's done. So you now get in sync with her. The energy she's placing into your heart and your body and your being, she's sending so much light into you now. But you're not holding this stuff any longer. It is done. You breathe in one more time. Inhale. You bring all of that dirt and muck and darkness, and you look in her eyes now, eye to eye, like present, commanding the space, and you give it to her. You breathe out. She keeps drawing it into her being. Keep breathing out until there's no more breath in your body. And then she sucks it in. And then she lets out a massive roar, and you just see all these flames coming out of her mouth. And she's transformed it. She's alchemized it. And now she looks at you and this beautiful flames, which are clear and clean. She now breathes them into your mouth, and you feel this exchange of heat and fire running through your throat chakra, no longer fearful of speaking your truth into the throat chakra. It clears any blockages. You are feeling so free here. Then she breathes again. She sends the fire down into your heart, no longer holding back. Unconditional love is the only way. Breathing in the fire again, it comes all the way into your solar plexus, which is her solar plexus. And she breathes all the blockages, like pulling everything out that blocks your will and your power. Let it burn. And she now breathes that fire all the way into your sacral, full ignition, divine masculine and feminine. Your belly of the flames in the belly are just igniting, and then you go into the root chakra. She breathes in, and as she does so, those flames bust out all the way down to your feet, and you just anchor into the circle. And now you hold hands, staring deeply into her eyes, and she says, "It is done." And you're sweating. You're holding her hands and they're just on fire, but it's not a fire that burns, it's a fire that ignites. Just to take a moment now to feel what that feels like. Feel it. There is no more of the old way left. Your hands are on fire, like really on fire. Sekhmet, why is this so? She says, everything you touch will transform into light. Everything you create with your hands will alchemize into magic. Everyone you touch will be healed by your heart and your flames. Oh, This is a very special gift. You bow your head in honor. She stands back, holding her staff, kind of waves you away. It's like it's done. The other waits outside for you, dear heart. You know who the other is now, so you got work to do. Pull your cloak on, your hood. Blessings, Sekhmet. So many blessings. And to all the beings that witnessed you, you walk out. And there she stands. Hecate, Hecate, Hecate. She is holding her lanterns once again. And they are really lighting up the forest. And this time, because you're in the second time in the forest, this forest is magical. It's beautiful. It's still a dark night. But she holds the lanterns up, the torches, and she says, "Behold the light. Behold your divine sight. You will truly see the magic that will be." And with that, there is like a shudder. The trees, the dogs come running in, and you hear the jingling of her keys, and she's walking. She is walking towards a portal. And she's like, "Spit spot, hurry up, follow." And you're like, wow, okay, so you're catching her up because she's a lot more stern than Sekhmet. So we get to this portal. This portal is magic. And she literally stands with one foot in this massive white portal and one foot in the forest. And she puts her hand out to you now and she says, "Decide. Decide. Do you step into this portal or do you stay where you are?" You look around. You take a moment to breathe in the last levels of oxygen here. The dogs, you've waited so long, they're now lying down, waiting for you. No, it's time. You step into that portal. Hecate pulls you in. And suddenly, this light white portal all of a sudden becomes very, very dark. And she says, "You fear nothing. For in the darkness is the mystery, but in the mystery is the magic." And you feel that. And then all of a sudden it lights up because you look at your heart. Your lion's heart is lighting the way. She gives you the key. She says, "Through that door," there's this beautiful, like medieval, magical door. "Through that door is your crossroads. You will go beyond this place, but only open it if you are ready. You must be ready." And the dogs are all fired up and they're barking. I mean, are you ready for this? She says there is one condition. Energetically, you will feel the crossover in this moment. I will grant you the keys to this portal, to this door, to step in to your next level. But you must commit and you must change, dear heart. And you must change your direction. You must be committed to step into the next level. For if you come back from this timeline and you are not ready, it will be a difficult time for you. Are you ready? Are you ready to decide? And you look her deep in the eyes. You're like a child of Sekhmet. And I'm now a daughter of Hecate. Of course I'm ready. Grab the key off her, open the door. You open the door. All of this light comes flooding in, blinds you, and she pushes you in, slams the door behind you, and you are in the abyss now. You are in the abyss. You are in the darkness. It is dark. But you are not scared. You are not scared. In your energy field, you feel a million things start to unlock. You feel a lightness like you've never felt before. And you find yourself just floating here in the darkness. And it's so quiet. It's so still. And here you'll stay until this is an incubation for you. You're being held. This is Hecate's void, or you may call it her cave, where you will be held while you come to conclusion and you come to decision in the physical world you call your life. Here you will be held. So take a big deep breath into that void space. Fear it not, for you have taken great courage to step through. You've given your sacred yes to Hecate. And that is it, and that is all. So when you are ready, take a nice big deep breath into this really big white open space that you've got. And when you're ready, start to bring your energy and focus back into your physical body, where you stand, or where you sit, or where you lie. So, I'm so glad, Jill. So glad you like that. That was a lot longer than I anticipated, but there's no such thing as time. And when the goddesses are going for it, you got to just keep going. Okay. That was that's exactly the medicine you needed to say. Yes. New moon vibes. New moon vibes. I look like I'm in the cave now as well because it's all getting very dark in here. I'm so, so glad. So now, so that was a bit of a surprise to me that we got left there in the void, but it's an incubation holding space. They're not all horrible going, you got to decide now if you go into the cold wide world. It's an incubation space. So you still have choice to decide as to when you can tentatively take those steps to make changes in your life. The fact that you've energetically closed so much and stepped to it, it's going to just come to you. Remember, you don't force it. It's the divine feminine. It comes to you. Okay. You are supported. It's like even without this, you were going to get there anyway. It's just nice to have an awareness on how we're going to get there. Do you know what I mean? So all is well. All is well. But what we want to really, really, really honor is the death, rebirth, and resurrection, because that's what it is. Everything comes in cycles. So what you could experience now is maybe a bit of a pregnant pause because you've been going, 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 going. And now you might find that everything just settle petal. Do you know what I mean? And that's okay. When it slows down like that, let it slow down. Brilliant, amazing, because it will always fire up again. So really embrace those times of stillness when you're given it, because then that will tell you, oh, there's going to be a time that I've got to go, go, go. You need those breaks. You need those rests. And as soon as you can align yourself with the divine feminine and really get in alignment with that and understand that it's different now, we don't have to strive or struggle or fight hard, because it's actually the divine masculine, which is what he told me today. He came through when I was actually doing yoga. And he said, it is the divine masculine that actually has given you the gift of letting go, because it was him that was being too controlling. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that we are in that letting go stage and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to give you that now. That means he's okay with chilling out and, holding space for the divine feminine as she does he, you know? So it's the divine masculine that actually has let go so we can actually be more in our divine feminine. And then we just balance out. So however this process shows itself to you, embrace it, love it, be with it. So let us just take a couple of cards out here, because you know how I like to do some cards for this. Okay. So let's see what happens. Familiar, bond with your spirit animal. Okay, I need to put the light on. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to go and bond with Anubis, my dog, and I'm going to but look at that. I don't know whether you can see, but bond with your spirit animal, familiar. So if you've got a dog, do it, man. If you've got a dog or someone else's dog, Hecate's talking to you. Love that. And then tribe, find your people. Okay, this is also a very, very powerful message. How many times have I said it before? That when you're with those that really, really, truly your tribe, there is no fighting, there is no competition, there is no scorpion tail vibes or anything like that. It's just pure love. You value them, they value you. There's no threat. You actually feel your body relaxing. So your encodements come out, your divine feminine starts to flap her skirts around. All is well. So find your tribe, but you've got to get out the back of the cave to be able to get out there to find your tribe, which is why I've said half of you I'm going to meet in person this year. I just know it to be so. But that's the way I'm looking at it. No more, Zoom rooms. It's going to be finding our tribe and actually holding hands, squeezing and hugging. So the final one, strength, nurture your diverse talents. So there we go. That there, strength, nurture your diverse talents, backs up the whole what is your purpose, right? So strength, nurture your diverse talents, meaning whatever you were doing before, yes, there could be an upgrade and look very different in the world, but there might be something brand new coming out the ethers. I know I keep saying it, but Marie going to DJ school, I don't care whether I'm crap or amazing. I'm just doing it, So that's just going to go and see if I'm any good at it, and I'm going to have fun, right? So if you want to go and take up tennis, take up tennis. But that's what I'm saying, diverse talents. So just to summarize there, so familiar, go hug a dog, because that's Hecate. Find your tribe, Okay, because this is what this is all about. This is the shift today. And then strength, diverse talents. So if anything at all at your altars, just say to spirit, say to Hecate, say to mother, reveal to me what's hiding under my next layer of my tablet of light, my blueprint, because that's where all your superpowers and your gifts are. So now it's a time for great discovery and fun. So make it fun. Remember, make it fun. So that, my darlings, is your new moon, Hecate, Hekate, and Sekhmet, and Anubis, and Ceridwen, and all of the beings, I suppose, and all of you guys, and me. So happy blessings, the new moon. I do hope that this landed with you. I do hope that you kind of like, shifted like, through some stuff, you know what I mean? And I am going to put a post on YouTube. I'm going to let it settle for 24 hours, and then you're going to go and be witnessed. It doesn't matter if it changed. I'm not going to phone you up and go, well, you said you were going to go and do this. It's about being witnessed, power moves. And I feel if we do these things and we get out there and we talk and go, oh my God, I'm doing this. There's strength in numbers, is there not? You know what I mean? That's how we come together. So blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for always showing up to the temple. Appreciate and love you all. As I say, every last Thursday of the month, there is a temple meeting. And, usually there's like a live stream that I do. There's always a moon going on there, isn't there? But that's kind of like how we're rolling. And any of you priestesses that want to join me in Avalon, 5th to the 15th, I have about 3 spots left. And it is basically all to do with Lionsgate, Egypt, Avalon, all of the magic. And it's going to be something I'm running every year. It's an add-on to my Egypt work. So girls, guys, we're all going to be gathering around the cauldron in person. I can feel it. Anyway, you are a witch. Thank you very much. I'll take it. And you know what? True joke. True, true, true. I have a broomstick by my front door. I bought it for Halloween, but it's never been moved. Nobody's ever moved it. So yeah, maybe you're right. Anyway, my darlings, have a beautiful new moon further. Or if you're going to bed like me, catch the last few hours, and we'll speak to each other super soon. All right. Love and blessings, guys. Mwah. Love and blessings.